know. I know. It's everything that we dreamed of in Star Trek when I was a kid.
No doubt. Still waiting on Oliver. Did he message you at all, or are you okay to...
I did not receive any messages or anything.
Okay.
But we have some folks waiting. As far as I'm concerned, we can go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to start the recording. We'll get into the introduction, and by that time, Oliver should probably be in here anyways, so...
I hope so.
Yeah, okay. So, let's go... Web3İnu. Alright guys, welcome to another Venom Calls AMA. We're here with Hans from the project Web3İnu. This is the CEO. It's a pleasure to have you here, man. So before we dive into your project a little bit, do you mind just giving us a little bit of your history, your background, where you came from, how you got into crypto, everything like that?
Well, sure. I'm Hans Mills. I'm the CEO. And I've been working in corporate America for a long time. I have an extensive background in educational technology. I started in 1996 in a traditional client-server environment and worked my way up through that. I was in the Silicon Valley during the heyday. And we bought the company and sold the company and bought it again and sold it again quite a few times. So in educational technology, we do a couple of things, of course. We help students to learn using technology. And one of the ways that we do that, and that's a trend that's been going on for about 20 or 25 years, is through gamification. So we take educational content for learners and turn it into games. To help them achieve their educational goals. So that's an area where I have expertise, and it connects to what we're doing at Web3İnu quite well, because the principles behind game design and implementation are pretty much the same. It's just that the outcomes are different. In educational technology, we're looking for educational gains, of course. In GameFi, we're looking for financial gains. So it's a good correlation for me that makes sense. The other area where I have a lot of expertise, we ended up selling the company to the largest educational publishing company in the world, and I was running their international educational technology group, which meant that I had customers and distributors and partners in about 30 different countries all around the world. We had to meet compliance requirements with education authorities, with financial ministries, with banking regulations, with partner management, contract management, all kinds of things related to this whole area. So compliance, regulatory requirements, this is something that I have lived and breathed for a long time. About crypto, I have not done a crypto project before. I started investing when Bitcoin first came out. I bought some. I made some money. I sold too soon. Then I bought again. Yeah, right. Then I bought again. I bought at a higher price than I sold at, but that's okay because it went up again. And now I'm well invested in all kinds of cryptocurrency. and many different sorts of altcoins and tokens and so forth. And it's both exciting and profitable.
Yes. So basically, you've been in the space for quite a long time then. If you bought near the beginning of Bitcoin, you said. You have lots of history in technology and education. I really like the fact that you had said that teaching people how to use technology was what your main goal was in your old company?
That was part of it. Training educators how to use technology to help students achieve their goals was a big part of it, because a lot of educators at that time and even today really don't know much about technology. So it's funny that way. But the other part is that the software we were actually developing was adaptive. So nowadays we would call it artificial intelligence. So it's when the software actually predicts what the student needs to learn next in order to meet their next milestone. So the software does the instruction on behalf of the teacher. This is especially important for students that are falling behind or whatever, need a little extra kick. The software figures out what the student doesn't know and needs to know, gives them the instruction, and moves them on. And like a game, when the student achieves their goal, wow, they get a gold star, they won the game, they've made their progress, and they move on to the next level of the game.
That's incredible. I really love that, the fact that you're able to actually use the technology and have the technology to actually teach the people and learn along with them. That's amazing. I know that there's been like programs before. I know about like Leapfrog and stuff like that, and it's just slowly developing. And now we're in this space where these times it's going to be like much. It's just going to grow exponentially, pretty much, right? And especially in the crypto space. And I like the fact that you are starting to get into this. And like you said, it's very hard for a lot of people to actually get into the crypto space, let alone these kind of coins that you're actually getting into and creating right now. So that being said, how did you sort of find your team, and how big is your team, and where did you all sort of meet?
Well, I found my team through a mutual friend, which is the way that things usually work in the world, I find. We live in a global world nowadays. I am a Danish citizen. Currently, I'm in Belgium. I have a home in Thailand. I also have a home in the Philippines. So I just travel around and meet interesting people. Interestingly, funded by Bitcoin. Yeah, so it all works out. I recently joined the team. We have 10 members, and I'm just going to refer to a note that I have here because I don't want to forget anybody. That would be rude. So we've got 10 members. There's me. Oliver is our Solidity chief. Will is our metaverse asset advisor. Marley is our blockchain game designer. Sam Wright, full stack developer. Then we have some non-executive members. They are Riez, our 2D artist. Ogahimi, our public relations director. Eves, who is our 3D artist. Avejan, our lead programmer. And Indra is our artist in residence, our art leader.
Okay.
So that's our team.
Awesome. So you met probably a couple of them, and then they knew some people, and you sort of just started coming together, and you formed this team to create what you're creating.
Well, that's right. In a different era, I would have done it differently. But to be frank, I've been a little bit grounded. I like to travel and move around and meet people and so on, but it's COVID, man,
Yeah.
So I've had my feet stuck in the mud a little bit. So we make good use of technology, just as we're doing now. That's the way people live nowadays, and that's the way we do business.
You bet. Okay, so let's sort of get into the project a little bit. I don't know if Oliver is here yet. Oliver, if you're here, can you please raise your hand? Because we're going to start getting into some more technical things, and it would be nice if you could speak. That being said, are you able to give us a brief rundown on what your utility is in your project, what you're doing? I know that this is a Web3 project, and basically, I'm sure that quite a few of the people that are in this chat, including myself, don't really understand Web3 that much. So
I'll give you a very short history lesson, okay?
Okay.
But let me start by saying that where Web3 really comes from is it's a rent-to-earn token concept that's based on data interaction on two layers, which is on-chain and off-chain. Now you know that well, I think you probably know that Inu in Japanese it means Doge, which has been a very popular meme. We're marketing people. We listen to the market. We look at the trends and so forth. So what it really represents is a move away from the formality and protocol of dealing with traditional technology companies, even crypto companies that still work in an old kind of a way. I'll get to that in a minute. So Web3İnu, we want to cut through the usual kinds of problems. We want transparency. We want to use the blockchain to allow users to rent, buy, interact with, upgrade, and sell real-life businesses. So that's the one part. The second part, Web3. Let's go back in time, okay? Web 1 was about communication. It was just the internet, and we just send messages back and forth and exchange information. And that's the way it works. Web 2, which is where most people are right now, is transactional. So we buy and sell things. You can go to a marketplace. You can go to Amazon. You can go to Google to buy data, whatever. It's very transactional. It's still constrained and restricted by the big players who basically own the space, right? Web 3 is democracy. It allows rank and file users, holders of assets to participate in the assets that they're actually enjoying. So that's a key thing. The big middlemen in the internet, they're not required in this space. There's enough of us, we can do it on our own. We don't need them. I'm sure that later on somebody's going to ask me about numbers and tax and so on, and that's fine. We can do the same job that the big players do democratically for a tenth of the cost. And that 90% saving just goes back to all of us. So we use the blockchain instead of the big providers. And we just do that using cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and so forth. That's really about it.
Right. Yeah. So as we know, basically the whole cryptocurrency thing is it's so great because, like you said, it's very transparent. Like everybody can see everything on the blockchain that happens. So what I'm getting from what you're saying is basically you want to be able to use the blockchain to have businesses on it and not use gatekeepers like Google, for example, to be able to find these things. So I'm familiar with like sort of like the dark web or whatever, and you use a Tor browser to get to that. So now that you have to know exactly what you're searching for. So this Web3, it's gonna be similar to Tor browser in that respect. You're gonna have to know exactly what you are trying to find because there's gonna be not really a search engine. Is that correct?
Well, yes, and we have to rely on the exchanges that list us to make us visible and available to the public. So there is there's certainly utility in Google, for example. I just don't enjoy paying their fees.
Right. Okay. So that kind of makes sense to me. So if you guys are going to be basically the Web3 host or whatever or whatnot with all your businesses on it, you will be the search engine technically. So anybody that uses your system will be able to find the businesses because they're going to be based out of your guys' project, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, Perfect. So that being said, any exchanges or anything that do list you, that is how you will sort of come to be, and then people will start understanding that you were there for that reason, and that is what you're doing. Okay, makes sense to me. Perfect. So that being said, let's get into your actual project and sort of what you have been creating. I know that you have these NFTs. I know that you have some sort of game. I was really reading on the site, and there's a lot of information, man. Like, you guys have a lot of utilities going on. So I think the easiest thing for us to sort of understand would be to sort of go through your white paper. I'm on it right now. I'm just sort of scrolling down. I did want to talk about the tokenomics. Let me check one more time if Oliver is in here yet. Oliver, can you please put up your hand if you are in here? I'm just scrolling. I don't really see him. Okay. So, well, you are familiar with cryptocurrency. You've been probably using PancakeSwap and PooCoin, obviously, right? You are familiar with that. So you know that
PooCoin,
most of these.
I've used PooCoin, not PancakeSwap.
Okay. It is definitely the easiest thing to do nowadays because you got the chart right there and everything else.
Yeah.
But that being said, you do know that every project generally has some sort of buy and sell tax. So does your token have any of those buy and sell tax?
Yes, it certainly does. It's
Okay.
a whopping 1%.
Oh, okay. And what does that whopping 1% go to?
I made a note to myself over here because I knew someone would ask, and I want to be accurate.
Okay.
So there's a 1% tax or tariff that's involved. To be precise, 0.57% is burnt to a dead address, so that is money that's gone. 0.57%. The other 0.43% go to holders by reflection, and that's it. If you were buying a more traditional token or coin, you would probably lose 10%. So for $100 in, you actually get $90 worth of coin. For us, you put $100 in, you get 99. So I think that's very reasonable.
Okay, so your token is actually a rewards token in its own, and it's also deflationary. So every transaction, you're going to be taking 1% of that. Yes. 0.56% of that is going to be going to the burn wallet. So straight up deflationary, and then the rest of that, which is the 0.34 or something like that, is going to be.
Let me see. I want to be precise. It's okay. It's 0.57% is burnt.
Okay.
0.43 goes back to the community.
0.43 goes back to the community, and there's nothing that you really need to do in order to gain that redistribution, that reward. You just have to hold, or yes. Is there some kind of staking mechanism?
No, you just have to be a holder.
Okay, so I know that in a lot of these reward tokens, your tax is absolutely beautiful, by the way. Like 1%, that's absolutely nothing. So not really concerning, but yeah. there is some issues with these redistribution tokens. So basically, what happens is when you have these giant taxes, it's going to create a sell on the chart as well. So if somebody sells, it's also going to sell a little bit extra and have another transaction fee there, which then is going to show in all the sells. And people sometimes tend to panic about that. So does that actually show on the chart, or have you built that into the contract where it doesn't show that?
That's a really good question, but I can't answer it. We need Oliver to step in on that one. I don't have an answer, but I can get it for you.
That's totally fair. And like I said, man, 1%, it doesn't really matter. Like, it's not going to be that huge of a sell regardless. But it's just nice for people to know if that is going to be on there. Okay.
I'm all about transparency. If I don't know the answer, I will tell you that.
Right, perfect. Okay, so let's just take a step back a little bit. I meant to ask you guys, so obviously I sort of mentioned to you in the last voice chat that we had about the KYC, which is know your customer. So yep. Are you KYC'd on any platforms, or are you just sort of social media'd out there, or how do people know you?
Where KYC is, yes, we are having trouble remembering the name. Solid Proof. We've been audited on Solid Proof was our auditor. We're listed on Hotbit. That's it for the moment. Yeah.
Okay. So that's actually, you guys actually have an audit as well through Solid
Yes.
Proof.
Yeah. And
Okay.
we're in the process. We're in the process also with Certic right now. We've also applied with Gate, and they're larger. It takes time, and so we're waiting for them to revert. But yes, it's a key focus for me and for the listing team. It's just basic economics. If we list on more exchange, there'll be more demand. More demand against stable supply will put upwards pressure on price. It's basic economics 101.
Exactly. 100%. So, okay, so you said that you are audited and KYC'd with Solid Proof. You're talking to Certic, and you also are talking to Gate.io, which is an exchange, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, that's correct. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, great. That's awesome. How long, you've been launched for about a month now, so how long did it take to get on Hotbit?
We did our launch on New Year's Eve. That was a very good party, by the way.
No doubt.
And to get on Hotbit took about 3 weeks, 22, 23 days. I don't remember exactly. It was pretty quick.
Pretty quick, yeah.
But the way that things work now, especially in technology, I mean, 3 weeks seems like a long time, but it really isn't.
Yeah, it really isn't. You're absolutely right. And the interesting thing is, like, with most of these projects that are in this space, 3 days is a long time. So, I mean, the fact that you guys are still up and running and alive and your chart actually looks as good as it does, I was just looking at it earlier, man. It looks like a very nice chart. You got a pretty solid LP. What is your market cap at right now? Like 7.5 million or something?
Sounds about right, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so I just got a message that Oliver won't actually be here. That's okay. We'll just work with that.
Okay.
That being said, anybody that is sending me DMs in my message, please don't DM me. I don't have really time to read the DMs. Just post it in the comment box, that the last comment box that Venom posted in Venom Calls, and I'll eventually get over there. I can ask your questions. If you don't want to raise your hand and ask them yourself, that's totally fine. If you do want to raise your hand and talk, I'll get to you in a few minutes. We'll just talk a little bit more about the project, and then we'll get to some questions. Okay, so Tokenomics, you actually nailed that 1%. You got your awards in there. You are on the BSC chain. Now, can I ask you why you guys decided to go with the BSC chain?
Well, you could ask me, but I can't answer you. I understand the dichotomy, and the BSC chain is it's a major player, but I wasn't part of the team at the time of decision making. We have plans to do others as well in the future, but we are where we are. Okay,
perfect. That being said, I really like the fact that you said that you do have plans to move on to other chains as well. You know, BSC isn't it's not terrible. It wasn't like I was just curious what made you decide. I'm guessing the fact that it's low gas fees and it's quite a fast network that was a big contributor into the choosing of BSC. Where you guys are now with how big your market cap is, how big obviously your community is. There's 236 people in here. I mean, that's insane. That's great.
6,000. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, in the voice chat alone. No problem at all. I did notice that you have a high amount of holders too. That's insane, man. Yep. So that being said, it is very good to be able to adapt to another chain, and I think you'll be able to do that with ease because of how many people that you have. So awesome. That being said, let's go on to the actual utilities of your token. So are you able to, I know that Marley's in here, and you said that he is the designer of the game? Is that Marley?
Marley, are you there? Marley, are you there? Can you speak up?
He is here, but he's muted.
Let's see. Yes. Marley is our game designer, yeah.
Okay. So are you, I don't know, he's not seeming to talk, but that's okay. Do you know anything about the game or like how it's going to work? I know that you have NFTs. Are you familiar with NFTs like quite well?
Non-fungible tokens, yes, of course I am.
Okay, perfect. So that being said, how will your NFTs kind of work in with your token? Like you guys have a token. So what is really the utility of your token? And then how do the NFTs fit into that?
It's my understanding, again, I'm new to this team, so there are some complexities here that I don't understand. But the idea of, I spoke about this earlier, about education technology versus GameFi. So the idea is that when you win a prize or you do something good on a game, you win something, you progress in your curriculum if you're in the education sector. In the finance sector, you earn something. So it is a portion of an NFT that you would earn. What exactly they are, that's still in development. We're still working on that, but that's the whole idea.
Okay.
You actually gain something. So instead of playing Candy Crush for 10 hours and getting nothing, you get something.
Right. Okay, so these NFTs, when you buy them, they're going to fit in with whatever kind of game that you guys are developing. And then basically, the NFTs are going to work in the game, and then when you actually do an achievement or whatever you do in the game, you're going to be earning the token. Is that correct?
You will get a credit, yes.
Okay, so that's where the token fits in with the utility of your project. So can you talk a little bit about the game, like what kind of game it is at all?
No, I'm not the right person to do that. I haven't had the time yet to really take a close look at that. I'm worried about other issues.
Okay.
Compliance requirements and so on.
Right. Okay. I've been looking through the white paper, so okay, so we're on to upgrades now. So basically, these NFTs that you're going to be collecting, as you do things in the game and upgrade your XP, you're actually going to be able to upgrade your NFT as well. It's going to be evolving.
It's still under discussion. We're trying to figure out how to do that, but yes, that's the idea.
Okay. All right. Okay, so yeah, NFTs fit into the game, probably characters, probably items, not really sure 100%. The token is going to be rewarded in the game to the player, so it's a play-to-earn game. Next, we're on to sort of the renting. So let me just read this real fast. So yeah, off-chain players are going to be able to rent businesses from on-chain players through contracts. Can you sort of touch on that a little bit?
Those who have assets are able to ask people to rent those assets from them for a fee, and that's up to them to decide. The same that you might use P2P trading on Binance, say. You can do that inside the game.
Okay, so basically these external businesses, they're going to come onto your platform and they're going to have their business on there, and they're going to have their independent assets. Is that what I'm hearing correctly? And
yes, that is what we're trying to achieve. Yes.
Okay, and then people are going to be able to go to them and be like, "I want to rent some of your assets or rent."
Right, exactly. So it's actually an old business model. It's fractional ownership. So if you see a business that you want to own a share of, you can, without the hassle of buying, stocks and bonds on the stock exchange or whatever. You can do it right in the Web3 environment.
That's actually beautiful, because then it's right on the blockchain. You have the proof that you are part owner of that, and then you actually own those part assets. That's a beautiful system, man.
Anywhere else.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's awesome. Okay, so let me just scroll down a little bit more. So there's two different types of NFTs, it says. So they got the special and iconic locations NFTs, and the second type of NFT is ownership certificates. So you kind of touched on that. I'm guessing that the two types, so the special and iconic locations are actually assets that are going to be used in the game, and then the ownership certificates are the NFTs that are going to provide the proof that somebody has gone to them and said, "Hey, I want part part ownership in your project, and that's how they're going to sort of show.
That's the plan. I wish that Oliver was here because he really needs to speak to that one. But yeah, one is, and it's like investing in a company, right? You can own a part of the cash flow, or you can own part of the asset itself. So we have to figure that out. But I need Oliver to talk about that one.
Yeah, I kind of wish he was here too. That's okay. We're sort of getting the gist of it. I understand. When I first read your white paper, I was like blown away. I was like, wow, man, this is quite a bit over my head compared to a lot of the projects that we do in this space, right? Like generally we're just buying NFTs and selling them, or there's a game where you can earn tokens and that's about it. So this is quite a bit more. Okay, so I was just going over the buying and renting. So I think that we sort of talked about that. You're able to okay, so what about the renting? How does renting work? Are you able to, do you know anything about that? So you can rent assets, I guess?
Well, that's right. You rent the assets from the asset owners, of course, for a fee. That's negotiated between the tenant and the landlord, as it were. So that's part of what we intend to do. So again, it's about the democratization of what we're doing in Web3. So it's not somebody else that's the gatekeeper telling you how much you must pay. You negotiate it yourself directly with the owner of the asset that you want to rent.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to touch on that anymore without Oliver being here. That's okay. We'll get into the selling a little bit. So these NFTs that you guys have are generally just the exact same as every other NFT in the fact that you'll be able to sell them on your marketplace. So does that mean that you guys are actually going to have your own marketplace?
That's the plan. Working on it, yes, that's the plan.
And that's just going to be built right into your website eventually?
Yes, okay. Yes, that's what we're working towards, yeah.
Okay. Is there any time frame for that?
The game itself will be launched this quarter, so that we're 60 days out.
60 days out. Okay, so a couple months. That's pretty good. Especially with just launching last month, you've done a lot of work since. Okay, so when it comes to selling as well, you can also use third-party marketplaces, which is great. So OpenSea and other things like that. That's great as well.
Yeah.
So merging both economies. So NFT owner can publish a contract on the public board that they fully control by renting conditions. So you're going to have some sort of dedicated page where people can say, hey, I don't really want part of this business anymore. I feel like I want to sell it. And there's going to be basically an auction board, or is it going to be just a straight up, hey, I want this much for this business. If you want it, come and contact us.
My preference is that it would be both. Again, technically, we're trying to sort that out now. I am not a coder, so I can't speak to the ins and outs of that, but that is what we would prefer. And the key thing, of course, is that the terms and conditions of buying and selling always have to be ruled by the smart contract. That's the key thing. So that's one of the things that I'm focused on now, is making sure that the smart contract underlying all of this is correct, bulletproof.
Right. Okay, so when somebody goes to this board and they say, hey, I want to buy this business, is there any restriction on what they will have to use to purchase it? So is it just going to be strictly BNB, or are you open to other kinds of cryptos? Or
No. We're open to everything. The question is what we can actually manage, what we can actually get done. That's contingent upon third parties cooperating with us to do what we want. But I would prefer to see no restrictions whatsoever.
Absolutely. So would that depend on, you would have to technically kind of be, well, not really. I guess you wouldn't have to be cross-chain in order to receive funds from somebody else in a different chain. You would just have to be willing to accept that, basically. So that's cool. That's fair.
Yeah. Well, the plan is to be cross-chain at some point in the future, but we have to do first things first, right?
Yes.
The first thing we need to do is make sure that we have compliance in the exchanges that we're listing with and that we're trying to list with. That is my main focus, as I told you before, about my background in business. We need compliance. We need to meet all of the regulatory requirements. There's no question about that. We cannot move without that. And the other is to launch the game this quarter.
Right. So that's sort of your next biggest step is you guys have just been going full force into the game, and as well as working on getting these next listings. So Gate.io, yeah, I just got a DM there from somebody. They mentioned, can you ask what the next exchange is that they're going to be trying to list on? And you did say that that is Gate.io.
Well, we've been in conversation with Gate.io. We will work with others in the next while. Let me see. I've got a list on my board over here. Huobi, Binance, Coinbase, Kraken, OKEx, and yeah, it's as I said before, it's basic economics. The more exchanges we're on, the more demand there will be for our token. Consequently, there'll be upwards pressure on price. So we know that that's critical to our success, and we're focused on it. That's my job.
Beautiful. Love that. Venom just DM'd me. Tell him I'm getting bullish on this, and if there's a big buy today, it's me. There you go. That's from the man himself.
Yeah. Well, I already spent all my money buying it, so.
There you go. Okay, let's sort of go over to the community here. I know that some people had their hands up. I'm going to allow, I don't know if this person is part of your team, Web3İnu. His name is Web3İnu. He might be part of your team.
Yeah.
If you aren't part of your team, feel free to ask a question. You just got to unmute yourself. I'll give you about 10 seconds, and we'll move along to the next person.
Hello, Hans.
Yeah.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thanks. Quick one. I just wanted to find out, with regards to marketing, I see you explain tokenomics of the project. Okay, so do you guys not have a marketing wallet? How are you getting funds marketing?
Okay.
And all the other stuff.
I'm having difficulty hearing you, but I understand the question. So we are backed by a group of angel investors. I cannot tell you who they are. There are non-disclosure agreements in place, so I can't do that.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that we're very well funded, and our marketing budget is more than 6 figures. So we have the money, the means, and the staying power to do our job on the marketing side. No question.
Okay. One more question, Hans, please, quickly. Your team, the Web3İnu team. I had difficulties finding any of them. Couldn't find information on any of them on the internet. I just wanted to find out, are those their real names, or are they aliases, or are those even when I'm doing an image search, I can't find any of those guys. So are they aliases, or are they real profiles?
That's a good question. I can't speak for them. Again, we work as a team. This is not a standard corporation. I am who I am. But if you can't find them on Google, try harder.
Are you going to? Okay. Are you guys going to be? Is the team going to be doxed?
Is the team going to be?
Is the team going to be doxed? So we talked about KYC before. So I know that you have been KYC'd, but is the rest of your team? So Oliver, Marley, example.
I can't speak for their intentions. Those are personal questions. That's up to them.
Yep, that's totally fair.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Web3. Okay, I'm going to go on to We the Cypherpunks. I'll allow you to speak. There you go, man. You got to unmute yourself, and like I said before, I'll give you about 10 seconds, and then we'll sort of move along.
Oliver. Oliver said that within 5 days we will be listing to another exchange. Is that true?
You're kind of quiet there. Here, I'm just going to turn you up a bit. Say that again.
Oliver said on Web3İnu groups that within 5 days we will be listed in another exchange. Is that true?
Did you hear that, Hans?
Yes, I heard the question. It's not up to us. It's up to the exchange when we are listed. Whether it's going to be 5 days or longer or shorter is really not our decision. It's up to the exchange. It would be better, and I'll talk with Oliver. It would be better not to make specific guarantees like that about things that are not within our span of control.
Okay.
I fully agree. It isn't in your guys' control, but I mean, you can have a rough estimate. So if you said about 5 days, yeah, it could be 5 days, could be 15 days.
It also depends on the exchange. The big exchanges move slowly, stands to reason. The smaller exchanges are more eager, more hungry for listings, so they might move quicker. I don't know what exchange Oliver was specifically referring to, so I really can't answer the question in any other way than I did.
Perfect. Thank you, Hans.
Okay, thanks.
Good, Cypher. That was your only question?
That's all. Okay.
Okay. I'm going to go on to Rory then. Rory, go ahead. I'm going to take a scroll through the text chat to see if there's any questions. We'll sort of bounce back and forth.
Yeah, it's okay.
Rory, you got another 10 seconds before removal. There you go, man.
I was just wondering, what was the thought behind doing the massive airdrop to everybody? Isn't that kind of a bad thing with all the vesting and stuff going on? That's why we have 300,000 holders now. It's because the third wallet's jumping to an airdrop. Like, what's the thought behind that?
Yeah, the airdrop strategy was developed before I joined the team. Again, I need Oliver to answer that question. I'm sorry I can't help you.
That's fine.
Thank you.
Okay, RW says, is this the same Web3İnu that randomly turned up in people's wallets a few weeks ago? Okay, so I'm guessing that was the airdrop. I didn't know about that airdrop, actually.
Yep.
Okay. Fizzy Giz, you have a question? Go ahead and type it and I'll come back to you. Oh, actually, you have your hand up. There you go. I'll allow you to speak. Do you guys think you're going to host a real-life event? So do you have any events planned, I guess?
Yes. We don't have any events planned. I refer back to the COVID situation. But no, I've always, through my whole career, has been in sales and marketing. I've always been an upfront guy at the podium on the stage. I like meeting people. I like being out. I like traveling. If it was up to me and not the World Health Organization, I'd be on the road right now.
Yep. And Fizzy Giz replies with that, I love parties, bro. So he's down as well.
What it's all about. Having fun and making money.
That's right. Okay, let's go on to Leo. Oh, there we go, Leo.
Thanks. When we usually talk about property, like vehicles and farming, etc., we usually talk about property taxes or taxation. So are you planning some kind of taxes for property or some kind of income tax in order to sustain your economy, your game economy?
No, only the 1% buy-in tax that we already discussed.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay. All right, just double check the text chat again. Oh, okay, so Patu says, are there plans to enter into the metaverse? So I'm guessing that you're kind of tied in with this game into the metaverse. I don't think a lot of people really know what the metaverse is, including myself, to be honest. Like, I understand that Decentraland and Sandbox and a few of these other projects are trying to do the metaverse thing, but I'm a gamer, so it feels like just any other game to me, generally.
Well, I understand a lot about metacognition coming from an education background, and meta has, it's everything. So I don't know. Maybe the metaverse is whatever Mark Zuckerberg says it is. I have a very fundamental grasp of what it might mean, the integration of everything. I would love to see that. We've taken strides since the early days of the internet, and I can imagine it happening. But quite honestly, it's such a big concept. I don't know. I think we have to tackle it one step at a time. It's such a big idea.
I do completely agree, and I think that we're just literally banging on the front door of what this metaverse actually is. I don't think anybody really even knows, to be honest, what it is besides the people that sort of created the idea. I don't even know who created the idea, so I'm not really sure how to what to think about it either.
It's an interesting thought because I mean, the people who coined the person who coined the phrase, I haven't even heard him explain it in a way that's clear.
Yeah, I'm totally with you on that. I don't know.
So how are the rest of us supposed to figure it out?
No, we're just sort of flying by the seat of our pants.
A little bit.
Okay. Hellboy, I'm going to allow you to...
I have faith.
You have faith? I do too, man. It's going to develop. It's going to develop. And that's a good thing about this space, especially in the Telegram space and the social medias. Everybody talks, everybody communicates, and we're just going to all evolve together. And it's just going to snowball. And one day we're going to be here, and one day we're going to have the metaverse, whatever that is. So I think it's more the fact of having your project open to expand into the metaverse whenever it comes up.
Well, that's the key thing. And the other is, I talked before about, democratization and making sure that people can participate across the stream throughout the ecosystem, whatever it happens to be. That's the key thing. I did well with Web 1 and Web 2, and I've done some interesting and creative things. I helped a lot of kids get a better education. I'm proud of those things. I don't see any reason why it has to stop there. I'd like to see everybody involved. I'd like to see everybody benefit instead of the big dollars only going to the big guys.
Yep, and I think that's exactly what cryptocurrency is definitely solving, and I appreciate it, and I love it, and that is why I work in this space, because it's what needs to happen, basically.
Yeah.
Let's go on to another question in the voice chat. Hellboy, go ahead, man. Hellboy. You do have to unmute yourself. 10 seconds. All right, Hellboy, we're going to move on. All right, Amareza. I'm sorry, I'm not really sure how to say your name, but I think that's kind of right. I'll allow you to speak. Amireza, go ahead.
Hi, Hans. I have a question about your roadmap, like NFTs, metaverse, and GameFi. You said in your roadmap. I have a question. What kind of work has been done about these NFTs or GameFi or roadmaps? I'd like to know this.
So basically, how far in development are you into your game and NFTs?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, the game will be launched by the end of the quarter. That is a priority. As I said before, I have two priorities. One is the listings, and the other is the launch of the game. That's the key thing. For the future going forward, maybe out 1 year or something, it will be additional listings, cross-bridge listings, joining the other chains, and so on and so forth. It'll be up to the game developers in association with others and cooperation with others to figure out what exactly the NFTs are going to be that are available inside the game. I'll be looking at the market research and listening to our users as we make those decisions. But that's too technical. It's not something that I want to participate in personally. I'll take the advice of the people who are good at that, who know about that. But that's not my priority.
Okay. So basically 2 months out before you start to see the game release, which, yeah,
launch the game and establish demand by listing on exchanges.
Okay. Perfect. Let me go back to the text chat here. Okay. No, we're just going to stick to the voice chat. Leah Ula, I think. I'll allow you to speak.
Hi, Han. So as you mentioned, you're a person that was traveling around. And as the world opens up, especially in Europe, what would you foresee in the past 1 year or two? Will you, are you at this point confident enough of sticking to your endeavors with Web3, or are you considering that life changes at different time points? And then,
Did you hear that at all, Hans?
No,
I had troubles.
I couldn't make out a thing.
Yeah, I don't know, it sounds like you're underwater. You're more than welcome to either...
is it better now? If I'm really close then.
It's not better now. I can sort of hear some of the words you're saying, but it's not the best, man. It's very hard to understand.
Okay, never mind.
Just DM me or type it in the chat and I'll relay it for you.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Mustafa, I'll allow you to speak. There you go, Mustafa.
Hello. First, I want to thank Mr. Hans to introduce himself to us in this chat. And I have some questions regarding the tax. Right now, the tax is 1%. Now, most of the people, they trading like to get profit. It's not good. Any plan to increase the tax? It will be better if we increase the tax. The chart will be more healthy if we increase it. And also another question, what kind of game it will be? Fighting game or adventure, or what kind of the game?
Okay, did you hear that, Hans?
Yes, I did. I've had a look at the preliminary game design. It is an adventure game, but it's the first. There will be others, and there will be more components that are launched in the future. But it's an adventure game, yeah. The other question I didn't hear. The first one.
Regarding the tax, I asked about the taxes because right now the tax is 1%. So most of the people now buy and sell and dump the chart. So if we increase the tax, the chart will be more green and more healthier.
So basically he's asking, will you guys increase the tax? Why do you think it would be more beneficial to increase the tax, Mustafa?
Because right now most of the people they buying on low market cap, and when we reach like profit 20 or 30%, they sell all back. So we get back again to the to low market cap.
Okay, so I can actually touch on that a little bit. Here's the thing. When there's high taxes in coins, generally a lot of the exchanges actually won't accept those on their exchange. So the point of having a low tax coin is to actually help it to expand into those exchanges. You are correct that when there is high taxes, it stops people from selling. But if people have faith in the project, generally they're not going to sell regardless. So it's kind of a give and take. It depends how you want them to expand. Personally, I would want them to get onto exchanges like Binance and everything like that. I don't know if that's where they're going. I'm not saying.
We all want to list it in Binance and Gate.io because we are believing in the project. Since the start, we are believing in the project. I'm here from the start.
Okay. Well then, yeah. Like I said, in order to get listed on those exchanges, they can't really raise that tax.
You've already figured out what it is that I was talking about. About being listed on multiple exchanges and driving demand for our token. That's the key thing. We're not a bait and switch company. We want to profit on volume, not on time.
So that's a good point. Thank you, Mr. Hans. Thank you so much.
Okay, I just got a DM here. I'm just confirming that this is what he's talking about. We're gonna go down. Yeah, so Leah, I will ask that question. It's actually one of my favorite questions to ask to wrap up the AMA. So that is coming up. I will ask that.
Okay.
I'm going to go on to the next voice chat speaker here. Kaysorn Griffiths, I think that's how you say your name.
Excuse me, I have another question.
Hello.
Okay, Amareza, just you can go next again. Go ahead, Kaysorn.
Okay, hi from Thai people. Hi from your home.
Sawadee Krap.
Oh, sawadee krap. Yeah, my Thai people, they wonder if you going to list on the Thai exchanges, like Stepback or Bitpasa, something like that. Yeah.
I would love to. I enjoy it there. That would be terrific. It is not our priority now. There are other exchanges that we wish to list on first, but we're not in any way hesitant or reluctant to list on Thai exchanges as long as we can meet their regulatory and compliance requirements. But yeah, we would love to.
Oh yeah, that is what we want to hear. Yeah, sure, we can wait. So maybe another year or two.
Well, hopefully not two.
Oh. Oh.
ASAP.
Okay. I'm done with my question.
My pleasure.
Guys, I'm getting a lot of questions about when is the next centralized exchange listed. So, like we've sort of covered before, they have a lot in the pipeline. They're trying their hardest. As for the time spans and exact dates, it just can't be answered. It's impossible, especially for the large exchanges. As Hans mentioned before, the large exchanges, they don't necessarily need tokens on them, so they take their time in choosing the ones that they want. The smaller exchanges, yeah, they might be a little bit faster, but as for the time span, still, we don't know. I'm not going to keep asking them those questions because really there's no direct answer.
Correct. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to Talut Ward. There you go, man.
Hi. Yeah, good night, everyone.
Hey.
Yeah,
Were you just saying good night? Oh, okay.
Yeah, where I'm from, it's actually 11 p.m. I'm in Scandinavia, actually.
Oh, okay. Are you leaving, or did you have a question, or?
No, I have a question. I'm not sure why it says I'm leaving.
Oh no. Okay.
So my question is to you, Hans, and anyone else who can probably answer. When the project starts to move into the other phases, would we have like another way for the community to actually participate? Like give some NFT ideas, some drawing ideas, or any sort of ideas where I can actually participate as a real community member and to like help foster the growth of the Web3 project itself, or Web3, any sort of commitment that I can give just to help, just as creativity or just as a hobby on the side, it's fine with me. I'm actually very excited about the project in general.
Well, I appreciate the question. As I said before, I'm a long-time sales and marketing guy, and I've done well because I listen to the market, and we will listen to you. Our exact communication strategy hasn't been worked out yet, but definitely, if I have anything to say about it and I'm the CEO, we will definitely give people the opportunity to give us input to help us to be better and better at what we do. How exactly we're going to do that, I don't know yet. It's too soon for me.
Okay, perfect. Then I would stay tuned, and whenever you guys have a solution, then I would be ready.
I appreciate your patience.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure.
Good Lord. Night.
I think Venom is muted. Hold up.
Oh crap! I'm muted. Yeah, I'm absolutely muted. Sorry. Thank you. Okay, so yeah, I had received a message, and it says, I'm actually gonna go over this in voice chat as well as type it to him. But for short, Web3 is a meme coin ? Web3 is not a meme coin. They took on the name Inu as well. Yeah, that is a meme coin, but basically they used it for extra hype. But their main goal is to have a play-to-earn game, as well as they're going to be onboarding actual businesses into the blockchain, which will sort of be based on, well, not sort of, it is based on Web3. So basically, it's going to be super transparent for these businesses to come onto the blockchain. Everybody can see where assets are going, and people will actually be able to buy assets, rent assets from them, and take partial ownership on these businesses right onto the blockchain. So no, in short, it's definitely not a meme coin. It gets its name from a meme coin, but it is doing a lot of things with utility. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. And I mean, the choice of the meme name, you have to, as a marketing guy, you have to look at what's trending. You know, what do people buy? What is moving now? There's a lot of currency in a name.
Yes, absolutely. I got another question from Jay Curry. Is it possible that Web3İnu could be traded via Uniswap? Yes. They did say that they will be implementing a bridge to other chains, but it's going to be one step at a time. Right now, they're working on getting on to exchanges, and they're also working on their play-to-earn game, which is 2 months out.
Correct.
So yes, that is in the roadmap. You would like to talk to Hans? Okay. Let's see if I can find you here. Yep. Allow to speak. Go ahead.
Hello, Hans.
Hello.
How are you? My name is
How are you?
Shaijal. I'm doing well. My name is Shaijal. I'm from India. So I joined through, I got airdrop. Then I suddenly access your Telegram group, and I just bought some Web3. So my question is, why our Telegram group, there is almost 100K users? All of them real users or spam? because I cannot trust because most of them not there is so many bots in our Telegram group and so many things is happening and even our this session there is only 169 participants. Where is others? Why they don't join?
I can sort of answer that for you. I guarantee you that a lot of those are bots. I can 100% guarantee it to you. There's a lot of people in the space that will invest into a token and they won't even join the Telegram. The fact of why there is bots really irrelevant. The fact is that they don't want to start deleting people out of the Telegram because they don't know who is real and who isn't. I think that that's totally fair. It is unfortunate that people decide to bot Telegrams. We don't really understand why they do it. It doesn't really make any sense, but that's the fact. And then once again, to touch on again, like I said, a lot of investors don't even generally join the Telegrams. So when it comes to AMAs and stuff like that, it's really the true investors that are interested to hear, and then they sort of spread the word to the other people via Telegram, Twitter, etc., all the information. So Hans, you feel free to touch on that if you want. I don't know how you can really explain the bot situation. I don't know.
Well, I can't. The bot situation is a business in its own right, and they make money by doing what they do. But that's not my business.
Okay, great. And one more question: are we going to hit the price by end of December, like 0.0001 at least? What do you think?
Regulations don't allow me to speculate on the price of our assets in public. Do you remember when Elon Musk got fined $20 million for telling people that he would sell his own stock when it hit 420? You can't do that. It's against the regulations.
Okay, but I hope so, because I need to be a millionaire as soon as possible.
I agree with your sentiments, and I hope that you're right, but that's as far as I will go.
Okay, let's hope, everyone. I really trust on this project, and I will be hold with you all the time. Then hopefully we will get in good position soon.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay. Here's a question. I don't know what you think about this. Okay, so question for Hans. A major problem in DeFi is liquidity. So at this point, the project has approximately 3% liquidity of total market cap. I don't know how accurate that is. Liquidity is essential for any tradable asset. Do you see this 3% is good enough for your project at this point, or do you have any plans to increase the liquidity?
Liquidity is important, of course. I would like to see liquidity increase. We're working on it with various individuals that I can't name. Liquidity will not decrease. I know that much. But yes, it's a focus. It's an emphasis. Of course, it's important.
Right. I hope that answers your question. I don't know how to dig any deeper into that. There's a lot of questions, guys, that are saying what's going to happen, what's the next step in this project. Like we've said a couple times, I'm not sure, you might be new here, so that's totally fair. The next step is to get listed on more exchanges and release their play-to-earn game, as well as probably their NFTs, since that is part of the game.
That's right. 60 days out.
Yeah, 60 days out, two months, roughly. Okay. Let's do VLAN for a question. Allow to speak. There you go, VLAN.
Hi guys, how you lot doing?
Hey man.
Hans, I was going to say, I like how professional you are with it. I was going to ask two questions actually. I was going to ask just a general question. Where do you see yourself in a year's time, and how come you decided to mix the meme with the professional Do you know what I mean? I'm talking about the Inu with what you're actually going with.
I don't understand the second question, but let me answer you the first one first, and then you can try the second one again. How's that? So the answer to the first question is that a year from now, I'd like to see myself on a beach having a margarita. Now, whether or not I can pull that off, we'll see. But I think the odds are pretty good. But yeah, I like to work, but I also like to enjoy myself. I'm committed to making this work. It's probably going to be the last project in my career. So I want to see it through to a successful conclusion as quickly as possible, as successfully as possible, as I can. This is all I do now. Your second question.
Okay, thank you. That's good. Good answer. Actually, what I meant is like because it's called Web3İnu, and the Inu, everyone knows Inus as like, you know, especially within crypto, it's like a meme. You know, it's a meme thing. But the Web3 is like that's more of a I don't know how to say it. It's more of a serious kind of thing, if you're not. Yeah. So how can we mix the two together?
Yeah, Inu, of course, it's and the answer to your question, I sort of answered it before, but it's a good point. Of course, it's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. I understand that, but as a marketing guy, I have to look at what's trending, keyword searches, all the data that I buy from Google to look up, you know, what do people look at? What do they invest in? What do they search for? You'd be surprised. It's a very trendy word. That's all it is. If it was a different word that was less tongue-in-cheek, I would use that one. Right? It's pure marketing.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your answers. And good luck with your project, man.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Okay. Oh, guys. Some of these questions, I don't really know. I don't really want to ask that, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, okay, so do you guys have any plans to do any other AMAs with any channels? Like, is that sort of what you guys are doing right now for just this initial marketing? Is just doing some AMAs and...
Yeah, I'm letting our public relations person deal with that, but yes, of course, we need to get the word out. We talked about, face-to-face appearances before, AMAs. We have to get the word out. The more people know about us, the more holders we're going to have, and the better everybody's going to do. So it's in everybody's interest to do that. Yes, of course.
Yeah, I really like the fact that you guys are sort of targeting the exchanges. I think that a lot of projects in this space, they just don't have the ambition to actually make it that far. They target us. They target other AMA hosts, Caesars, and stuff like that. I'm not just gonna dive into that, but they generally stay to the Telegram and the Twitter. So the fact that your team is working towards the exchanges, I find, is a very important step, and good for you guys. Honestly, that's great. Yeah. Okay. So people are still asking a little bit about the airdrop. Is that all done with, or is that still going to continue at all?
There's a phase 2. It's not something that I've been focused on. Again, we need someone else like Oliver to speak to that point. There is a phase 2 planned. I don't know the specifics.
Okay. Okay, I've already answered this, guys. I'm getting spammed here. Can you ask him when the next listing announcement is? Like I said, they can't really say that. Oliver did mention, and we've heard it in the voice chat, that he might have told somebody 5 days out, but like Hans has said, and like I know, it could be 5 days, it could be 30 days. You just don't really know. But the fact is that they said that it's going to happen, so I guess it's going to happen. I'm not really sure how to I'm not gonna get Hans to say that again. I mean, it's the exact same question over and over.
I checked with Oliver what that was all about. So
yeah. Sorry, guys. I don't really know what else to say there. Can you give us something for us to be excited about? I mean, they got the game coming out, guys. Like, they got the exchanges coming. They got the game coming out. They got... I don't know what you're digging for, man. I'm not really sure. Okay. Okay. The original owner of the minted NFTs... Sorry, I'm just going to read this and figure it out here. Okay, so... Will the original owner of a minted... Okay, so how do your NFTs sort of work? Are you going to have to mint them? Or will you just be straight out buying them? Or do you know anything about the NFTs, how they're going to work?
No, I don't know that. My impression is that we're going to be minting them, but don't take my word for that. I believe that's a work in progress. The game platform is going to be the method by which the NFTs are created. How exactly, I don't know.
Okay.
We got to focus on first things first.
Right, exactly. I don't really know if I want to ask that either, Kev. There's just straight up questions that it's just said, you know, we try to really shine the spotlight on the positive things here. I mean, yes, every project comes with its negative, its FUD, but, you know, damn, you just ask hard questions, man. Patu gets it, bro. Like, yeah. I'm not going to ask the FUD questions, guys. Sorry. If you're interested in knowing more and digging a little bit deeper, go over to their Telegram, message the team. I'm sure that they would be happy to answer that. I have to protect investors, mate. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But, you know, just like... We can dive into a million different negative things, or we can bring out some of the positive things, and then you guys can dig a little bit deeper by doing your own research. So that's all. I've said it a million times. These AMAs are not financial advice. They're strictly for the team to come on, talk about their project to potential investors, and then if you guys want to invest, then you invest. There's not anything more that I can say. It's just like any investment.
Correct.
Okay. I'll do a couple more hands raised questions, and then we're probably going to move this along, and I'm going to do the giveaways, and we'll sort of wrap this up.
Okay.
So, Star Knight, I'm going to allow you to speak. Go ahead, Star Knight. You got about 10 seconds, Star Knight. You do have to unmute yourself. Okay, we're going to move along to Sammy. Go ahead, Sammy.
All right. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, well done, Mr. Hans. I just want to say job well done. I mixed Shiba, and I was saying I couldn't get along with it. So with this, I believe in you guys, and I've been here since day one. And I'm going to hold. In fact, I'm taking this as my retirement plan. I'll just wish you guys good luck, and so that you can fulfill the roadmap. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sammy. We will not rest. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Sammy. Appreciate that, man. Gold, I'm going to allow you to speak. There you go, bro. 10 seconds, man. There you go. You unmuted.
Hello, Hans. How are you?
I'm good, Gold. How are you?
Very good. Hans, please tonight give to investors one big news. One big news for next week to all investors.
You want one big news for next week to all investors?
Yes. Now,
keep your eye on the charts. That's where the news will be.
For next week or this week. Yeah. Just.
Yeah.
Thanks. Please say.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to touch on that. Like he said, and like I said, they said that they're working on listings and the game. Do you have any big news, Hans?
No, I can't predict the future. I think keep an eye on the charts, see how it's going. Right, the game will be launched in 60 days, and it's just this, which day? Tuesday? You want big news on Tuesday or Wednesday? I don't know. You keep your eye on the market. This is your investment. You have to pay attention. We all do. I do.
That's absolutely right.
I don't have a magic bullet.
Oh, here's a good question. Here's finally a good question. Are you guys looking to expand your team? Are you hiring people?
Not at the moment. We're going to need to. If our growth is as we project, we're going to need to. But at the moment, we're not hiring. No.
Okay. All right. Michael, allowed to speak.
How's it going, Hans? It's unfortunate you don't have a bullet, but you have a beautiful face, very charming. It's very lively. I love just looking at your face. With regards to this, what I like to do with regards to people who come on AMAs, I like to challenge them a bit. So my challenge to you is there anything hidden, such as a use case, that you haven't brought to the public yet right now, but it might be coming up? We don't know for certain. Yeah, that's my question. Is there any kind of use case or anything hidden that you'd like to share with us right now? Give the readers a little bit of.
No, there isn't. If it's hidden from you, it's hidden from me, because I don't know. As far as I know, we're an open book. We're about transparency. We've hidden nothing.
I didn't mean that negatively. I just meant with regards to.
Okay.
Perfect. Are you developing any more use cases with regards to this moving forward?
That's with PR right now. Yes, there will be. When? I don't know exactly.
Awesome. Thank you very much for answering it, man. And thanks very much for having this, or doing this right now. I really appreciate it, dude.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I can ask that. Is your team looking into creating any kind of a swap or exchange yourselves? Like a decentralized exchange, maybe?
I would love to do that in the future, but that's too much to think about right now.
Fair enough. Yeah, you got a lot going on. I know. I was just looking at your roadmap. Like I said, you got a ton of utilities that you're trying to do. Businesses that you're going to be onboarding. I mean, this isn't just, your simple NFT project, guys. This is they got a lot to think about. They got a lot of people that they're dealing with. It's quite a large scale project. So I mean, these questions are fine to ask in the simpler projects who don't have as much on the go. But yeah, their exchange listings alone are talking and a lot of communication. So, I mean, they got a lot on their plate.
Yep.
And how many team members did you say that you have? Yeah. How many team members did you guys say that you have total?
10 people.
10 people. Yeah, that's not a whole lot to deal with. Probably 6,000 DMs a day.
We're very focused on our mission. I've already mentioned it 10 times, so I won't say it again. But we're very focused on the things that we need to do first, right? We will do the first things first, and then we will grow organically. And maybe someday we'll have another fantastic idea, and we'll do that.
Beautiful. Okay, guys, I'm going to do 2 more questions. 2 more, and then we're going to wrap this up. It's been an hour and a half. I mean, Hans probably has stuff to do. There's a lot of other people in here waiting for the giveaways as well, so let's let's go to, I'm going to unmute Sam. There you go, Sam. Yeah, you did figure it out. You were unmuted. He muted himself again. I'll give you 10 seconds. If you have a question, then
I'm back. Hello.
Hey.
Is it also possible you can give answer of the question if you are adding to multi-blockchain?
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah. We'll bridge to other blockchains in the future. That's part of our plan.
Because you're now on Binance going.
To do that within the next year for sure.
Yeah. What is your priority?
The priorities have already been mentioned. The next biggest priority naturally is Ethereum.
Okay, sounds good, man.
Simple.
Okay. Thank you for your answer.
Pleasure.
Thanks, Sam. Okay. And one more question. Let's do Crypto Carter.
Hey there. Hi.
Yep.
Hey man, I just wanted to ask you, what excites you the most about this project? But what gets you fired up?
What excites me the most about this project?
Yeah, get me excited. I want to hear what excites you, man.
It's a great project. We're adding a ton of volume to a game, and the reason why we're doing it is because of finances, right? Well, we're going to have fun and we're going to make money, and that's what's exciting to me.
Perfect. I love it. An honest answer. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay. All right. I think that's all the questions we're gonna do here, guys. Like I said, we're gonna wrap this up. We're gonna do the giveaways, and then we're gonna continue on. If you guys have any more questions, they have people in their Telegram. Are you based on any other platforms? Like, do you have a Discord or anything like that?
No.
No, just Telegram for now. Okay. Yeah. Are you looking to expand into? Do you have a Twitter or anything like that?
Oh yes, naturally, but yeah, it's a matter of time and resources.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. So yeah, guys, just go over to their Telegram. Feel free to message them. I don't know how long it's going to take for them to reply to you, but any questions that you have, I'm sure they're willing to answer. I mean, these guys are the owners of their projects, so I'm sure they're going to be trying to get everyone, as many people as they can, on board. So, okay. That being said, we're going to do 0.5 BNB in giveaways. How should we do this today? There's a lot of people in here. Generally, we do trivia questions. Let me just, Venom, please do SPI. I think you're talking about spin the wheel. We've sort of mentioned that before, but I don't think we're going to do the wheel this time, guys. Do the usual. Yeah, I agree. I think we're going to have to, I know, spin. Your network's slow. You know what, Fizzy? Let me just click on your name for a second here. You're in here all the time in our AMAs, man. I really appreciate the fact that you come every single time. We're going to give you 0.1 BNB. So you are going to win one of those. Let's see. Who else is in here? Who else is in here? Let's see. We did Fizzy. Who asked some questions? Somebody new. Somebody new. me, DMs. Okay. Sam, I haven't seen you in here before. You came onto the voice chat. You asked a question. I appreciate that, man. We'll give you 0.1 BNB as well. And we're going to do 3 questions. We're going to do 3 questions. Yeah, I know. There were a lot of people in here, guys. A lot of people ask questions. I'm trying to find some new people to give the BNB to. I know that there's a ton of people in here that are new. Mustafa, you are in here. This is the first time that I have seen you, so just keep coming to the AMAs, man, and you will win one of these times. I know you got the hard eyes. What about me? I've never won anything.
Venom, there's a guy named B who had a lot of great things to say about you, and he actually did a very good question as well. I would highly suggest him.
You're actually right. Yes, you're absolutely right. B. We're going to give you one of those too, man. Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you for coming and, getting on the mic. It takes a lot of balls, I guess. I wanted to say that a little bit nicer, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna do 2 questions. That's all I got, guys. We got 2 more giveaways. So first come, first serve. Whoever answers it is gonna be venomous sus. Okay. Here's the first question. So